you doing? It's good to see you.
It is good to
as
see you.
always.
It's been forever.
It's been forever, and I look forward to our time together.
Yes, ma'am, as always.
So thank you again for coming.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
Okay. All right. Anything we talked about? Many things. I don't know if you want to revisit anything before we get into our question of the week, or.
No, not really. Not really. Not that I can think of. Now, as we're going through it, maybe. But right now, no, I'm fine.
Okay. And at any time you want to take a break, or you want to stop, you control this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So today I want you to share a time when you felt unheard, you felt bullied, mistreated. Anything along those lines, whether it be work, recent, something in the past, family, school, you recall and let me know.
Well, I have a few situations, but I would say this one in particular was really big for me because I was younger. I was in school. I was in 6th grade, and I had this teacher who at least I always butt heads, because I remember if in the previous sessions I was a really how can I say it? I wouldn't say I was a bad kid.
Rambunctious.
There we go. I was that type of kid, and I wasn't bad. I just loved to talk. So, and this particular teacher, Miss Jordan, gave me no slack at all, and so it was 2 situations with this teacher. But the first one I'm gonna say is my science teacher, Miss Orban. She had I want to say it was like, we had this thing called science journals, and it was a teacher edition. You had a student edition, and the teacher edition had all the answers. So, one day, Miss Jordan got a call from Miss Orban that her teacher edition was missing, and mind you, I did not take that book, and I was awful. Like, Miss Jordan just automatically assumed it was me.
So you were accused.
Yes, ma'am. I was accused, and we had our run-ins. Like, me and Miss Jordan, we did when I was a kid.
How did you find out that you were accused?
Oh, she came up to me and told me. She was like more so like, I know you got this book, and I was like, excuse me, huh? Got a book? I don't have the book, and I knew who had the book. I knew who did, but you didn't want to tell on nobody. You were like, in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna prove her wrong. I didn't have this book, so they did all the searches in the locker, but the kid who I knew had the book, I went to the bathroom for a split second, and I guess when I went to the bathroom, the kid put the book in my locker.
DeQuayla.
Yes, ma'am.
You told the teacher, I don't have it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I did.
You went to the restroom.
Yes, ma'am. While I was gone, the kid put the book in my locker underneath my blue puff jacket. So, mind you, I'm just like, they're going through the lockers, and I'm not worried about it at all. I'm like, I didn't take the book. And once they got to my locker, you kind of tell like all the eyes were on me, because everybody knew that me and her didn't really get along that well. So when it got to my locker and she pulled the book out, I was in disbelief, because I was like, I didn't take that book. And she kind of...
The shock.
Everything was just like, my heart dropped to my stomach, because I was like, oh my goodness, like, how'd that book get in there? And she was like, exactly, you tell me how the book got in there. I was, but luckily enough, the other kid did come out and say that he did take the book later on, but it was after I was already in OCS, I think it was called, on campus suspension. I was in OCS, but Miss Orban knew me. She was like, DeQuayla, I know you didn't take that book. I know you didn't, because I seen the look in your face. You're not a bad kid. So Miss Orban had my back. To this day, we still keep in contact with each other, and she's one of my favorite teachers from elementary school.
That had to have been disheartening and frustrating.
It was how can I explain it? It's just the more so like the call to my mother, and she's being really hard on me, of course, because she don't know what's going on, and I was already known for causing problems at school for talking, so she just thought that I was just being just bad. So it was a whole lot. Then now I'm in OCS for absolutely no reason, but it worked out in the end. So
But take me back to that sixth grade, the Quaylen. You telling the teacher I didn't do it.
yes, ma'am.
She didn't believe you.
Did not believe me at all,
And when you come out,
and it happened. I'm not gonna lie to you, I cried. I cried because I felt like I was blackmailed, and it just. But because of the teacher, I knew she wasn't gonna believe me. So I literally just cried. I cried. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I can't believe this happened.
and you didn't talk with the other student,
No, I mean, of course, I wanted to beat him up, but that ain't the way to go. When I saw my recess, I wanted to push him down in the little pebbles, but I couldn't.
How did you avoid not doing that? Getting revenge. Here you are.
We're not gonna speak on that, but I did get my revenge eventually. But it was like within like the parameters of like school. Like when it came to like PE, we playing dodgeball. I got my kid. Cut my lights off. I got him back in the right way. I'm not supposed to hit him in the face, but I got him back. But yes,
When did he confess?
it was maybe like later on that week when I was gone. He confessed, but he didn't get in trouble for it. Only I got in trouble for it. So
He didn't get in trouble.
no ma'am, no ma'am. And he was also one of the delinquents, I would say, around that time. But he didn't get in trouble for only me. Which leads to my next situation with the same teacher. It was me and a friend of mine named Tyler Hammond, and we played like recess together, football all the time, and we was really good friends. And me and him actually speak to each other here to this day about this same situation. And so, we had communicators, and in order to go to recess, you had to make sure you get your communicator signed. And if you get your communicator signed, you had no tardies, or you had no any type of bad behavior. You did your homework, you were good. So, me being me at this time, just mind you, I wasn't the best of kids, but I didn't let my mom and them see my communicator because I know I was a talkative kid, and I didn't do my homework.
So explain, the communicates a slip of paper?
Yes, ma'am. So it's slip paper, and it has like things like, say, school supplies up here, and it's like all the behavioral things at the bottom.
Okay.
So the school supplies had like, I have a pencil.
And your teacher check it off or
yes,
whatever.
ma'am. She'll sign it whenever you don't need to do so. She'll sign it. I didn't do my homework, but I didn't want to go home and show it to my mama because I know I'm gonna get fussed at. So what I would do, I would forge my signature. And this situation, me and Tyler were looking at each other communicators, and he was like, are you gonna be able to go to recess today? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. Like, what you gonna forge your signature? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna forge it. I mean, why not? Which, in this case, yes, I was wrong, but that's not even here or there. That would even happen. So we was joking with each other as kids do, and he made a mama joke. Now this time, I don't play the mama jokes. Now maybe, but then I was mama's boy, so I don't play with my mama.
He disrespected you.
He did. He said something about my mama that I did not like. So I said something. I chased him around the classroom. We was playing around, like nothing really, just violent, just playing. And so this is the last little period before we go to recess, mind you. So we're kind of already amped up to go. And so Tyler, he trips over the printer cord, and the printer falls off the counter and breaks. So when it breaks, Miss Jordan, she's on the other side of the room. She don't know what's going on. All she sees is me and Tyler standing up.
And the broken printer.
The broken printer. So, of course, as always, everybody goes outside, and Miss Jordan says, DQ, why you break the printer? And this is like after the situation, so it's like, in her mind, she's like, I was right once, so I might as well just blame DQ again. And so I was like, Miss Jordan, I promise you I didn't do it. Tyler did it. But he's sitting there, he's crying already in advance, so he's already kind of like playing the game as if like, I didn't do anything, like he was crying, and but she made both of us stay in the room, and she called both of our parents, and Tyler, he ended up getting a slap on the wrist, but good old DQ call my mom, and I got fussed at, and then I think my parents had to come up with half to fix the printer. Yes, ma'am.
So this sixth grade period, you're feeling
It's out the window. Like, I'm all over the place because how can I say this? You would think the teachers would try to do the right thing by trying to come up with, solutions and things to make things, I don't know how to say it, like, I gotta find the words. I guess try to do things the right way, simple as that. And I felt like that I was misunderstood. I felt like that I was always thrown on the bus. And I felt like that any chance that my teacher got, she always had it out for me. And that kind of made it kind of hard for me to trust teachers moving forward because, like, was I still a talkative kid? Yeah, I was a teenage boy. I was going to be talkative and laughing in class. Like, that was, quote unquote, what cool kids did. And I was a part of the cool kid era. But just because I was a cool kid doesn't mean that I was bad. I was just like to have fun. Like, I was smart. Like, she could never say anything about my grades. I was smart. I just like to talk. And she used that as as ammo to like make it seem like that what I was doing led to, me talking a lot led to me doing other bad things, but that wasn't true. So.
wow. And you felt singled out.
Yes, ma'am.
And it didn't appear that she was singling out any other students.
She did. She did. And so funny enough, so when we were graduating high school, we have a moment where we go back to all the schools that we all kind of went to, like junior high and middle and high school, or elementary. I'm sorry. So I go back to Miller, and I guess she must have been keeping up with me since I left Miller, and she actually when she saw me, it was kind of like an awkward silence because she didn't expect me to pan out the way I did as a young man. So when she seen me, all she could say was congratulations. I'm glad of the young man that you became. She was like, when you were in sixth grade, I don't know how you're gonna turn out, but I'm glad you turned out the way you were then. And
How did you feel when she said that? What did you?
I had a multitude of emotions because I want to be like, I told you so, but it wasn't the way to go. So, but when I did see her, I just said, thank you, Ms. Jordan. I said, you didn't give me a fair chance when I was a kid.
You told her that?
Yes, ma'am. But I said, but thank you.
What was her reaction?
She was like, you're welcome. She kind of just carried on. But it felt good to me just to for her to kind of be keeping up with me when her son left. But I don't know if she honestly kept up with me or the teacher that loved me, Miss Orban, was kind of more so telling her see, here's DQ and stuff like that. I don't know, but yeah. So
you have a sense of pride being able to show her
otherwise.
She didn't know you.
She didn't know any better, but it's because you have a lot of kids that maybe were bad and stuff like that. But I turned over a new leaf, I would say, and I wasn't as talkative in class, but I just learned how to turn it on and turn it off. Know when to talk and when not to talk, and I stay out of trouble. So my last time being in trouble was maybe my 8th grade year. And after that year of 8th grade, moving forward, no more referrals, no more calls home. I was a good kid, so they say.
When you recount this, you're a pretty happy young man.
Yes, I try to be.
You don't stay stuck in a challenging moment. You really work through it, but to see you laugh through it and smile through it, but during the time, it just sounds for a kid to feel kind of picked on by the adult. My goodness, that sounds hard.
Yes.
That sounds very and for you to be able to now talk about it with forgiveness.
I think everybody deserves forgiveness, or better yet, another chance. And also, I can honestly say there was other kids that's in my class that were just like me, but they did take a different route. So I can't necessarily fully blame her, but at the same time, I do forgive her because she was just going off what she saw, not what she knew. So, and also just, I mean, I just try to be a better person.
It looked like you were trying to remember something else about that period.
Maybe so. It was long ago, but it was a hard time. I would say I had a lot of challenging moments in my life as a kid, which helped shape me to who I am today. So when I do have challenging moments, I do think about the other side of things, not what I'm going through. I think about the other side. Like, I know that when I get there, it'll be all worth it. I will learn something from it. And I say throughout my life, I learned that when I do get in challenging moments, that I just try to endure as long as I can, because I know that when I get on the other side, I'll be like, okay, I remember how I felt at this point, so I can keep going. So it's like just pushing through, knocking on the wall.
Wow, that's strength. That's everybody can't do that.
Yes,
That's having resilience and strength.
Yes,
that you have to find in spite of what you're going through.
Yes, ma'am. And I think it was more so just hard because I was a kid and I didn't necessarily know what was being done to me. I thought that was maybe normal. Like, it was normal for me to kind of go through challenging moments like that, or go through things like that with a teacher of a different race. I just thought maybe that's just what it was. But now that I'm older, I understand a little better now. But at the time, I thought it was normal.
You didn't take it personally then?
No, didn't take it personal. But yeah. So it was on top of that with school, then just my life in general, my personal life with my parents not being together, or just not being around. So all those things just made what you call the little rubber band balls just waiting to pop. But somehow, some way, I made it through. I don't know how, but I made it, and now I'm here now, and I'm now when it comes to certain like situations, I just laugh at like, man, I remember when I was a kid, I would go something like this, or when I have younger kids come to me with their problems at home, I'm like, man, I remember I was in your shoes, but this is what I did to help you through those moments, and it feels good, and I feel like I went through those things for a reason, because I'm supposed to be able to help others, and that's what I'm doing now.
Wow, yes. We are called to have a strong witness, and that's what the testimony is.
Yes, ma'am.
It's for to share. That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome.
It's just so crazy because I never imagined myself being where I'm at today in my life, when I'm able to kind of like digest everything that happened to me as a kid, and now see it from an adult perspective. It's like, I was not supposed to go through these things as a kid at all. This was not normal. But and like when you meet people, when you talk to people, and you tell them about the thing that you went through, and you kind of like, yeah, like, I'm gonna do that. That's normal. It's like, and how old were you? You were 11, 12, going through stuff like this. Like, that's crazy. But it's the life I live. So I'm trying, at least. I'm trying to be a better person than I was then. Now, so.
So having gone through that, when you feel picked on, when you feel
Misunderstood?
Yeah, misunderstood like the teacher did, accused. What do you do? How do you use the lessons? I know as an adult you respond differently. You're able to respond differently, but how do you take that lesson from then and use it now?
Well, that's actually a really good question, because I haven't been necessarily picked on since then.
Right.
But if that was to happen, like you said, as an adult, I wouldn't know how to necessarily address the situation, or at least try to like go about things. Like, I won't be confrontational, but I would try to at least figure out like what it is exactly that's making them feel a certain way, or trying to, you know what I'm saying? I would at least try to figure it out before I make my, my assumption of things. But
instead of just responding.
Yeah, because sometimes, we can get emotional. We can't just respond to things. But I learned that, being mature, you can't do those things. Like, there's a lot of times where I do want to still, like, react off emotions. But I realized that, you gotta put some thought into some things you say. Like, and that's what I try to do, even with in the workplace. Like when certain things like being said to me, because for me it's different now because I don't work with people who speak English that well. So sometimes me saying something to them can be misinterpreted and it can rub them the wrong way. So now that because I'm older, I'm like, wait, I'm sorry, listen, I didn't mean it that way. Let me try to make it simpler for you to understand. So I guess just be mature. It sounds crazy saying mature because I still feel young.
You are.
I'm 25, but I still feel young. I still have a lot of life to learn. But yeah, that's my approach. I would try my best to think before I say things, and that's one thing that I had to learn with, over the time. Just make sure just think past the moment, think past the now, because sometimes we get caught in the now. We don't think about the later, like the results from what you say in that moment.
Wow. There's something past now. So
Yeah.
think through.
Think once. But growth. All I can say is growth. Because I wasn't always like that. I'm not gonna lie. Even maybe you told me this, like, we talked this a year ago. I could have been like, oh no, maybe I react in a moment, but just, time to change. The Lord has done a good work in me.
And yes, that he has. Continue to let him use you.
Use me, Lord, please. But I'll say another thing when it comes to me being misunderstood is about my parents. You know, my parents, they, due to the situation, I'm fucking talking in circles, but them not really being around. So when situations do happen, like for the school instance, my parents would always believe that I was a bad kid because they always get calls about me being quote unquote a bad kid. And then when I tried to explain myself to my parents, they don't really hear me out. They just kind of go with the other adult. Even though in this situation she was wrong, but because I was a kid, I had no say so.
Wow.
So I would get punished, like phone taken away or anything like that, or video games taken away, based off what a teacher would say. And
it wouldn't be true.
Wouldn't be true, and they wouldn't even hear me out. And even to this day now, like my parents, they like now that I'm older, so they still try to like not really hear us out as kids, as so my other siblings, but no, I'll make them listen now. No mama, no daddy, listen. We gonna talk about this now. There's no more just your word and that's that. No, let's talk now as adults. Like I'm not 12, 25 now. We can have serious conversations and it don't have to be anything more than just that. We can talk as adults. And they're learning. I guess it's different because none of my other siblings kind of like try to sit down and talk to them or anything. They kind of just let them do what they want to do, but not I.
You let them know how important it is to be heard and to communicate, to have that back and forth.
Yes, ma'am. And just because I want all of us to be on the same page. I'm really big on communication and being understood. And why? Because when I was a kid, I thought I was misunderstood. So now that I'm older, I want to be understood. So all I want to be is understood. You might not like what I say, but at least you understand me. And I just feel like that whenever it's my turn, when I do have kids and a family, I want my kids to know that they're understood. So that's one of the biggest things I'm going to emphasize when I have my own family, is be understood. I guess I'm trying to turn the clock on things.
Being heard.
Yes, please.
Being able to have a say.
Yes, ma'am. My biggest thing.
Wow. That's good. That's important.
It is.